Today I will tell you the story about this footballer who would eventually win the World Cup for Brazil for their very first ever World Cup. And also, he would play for Real Madrid for 2 years before becoming a Fluminense legend who would score a couple goals for them as a central midfielder. Before I tell you the story, if you like the video, then I strongly suggest that you like and subscribe as you be part of this growing community of ours. Thank you, and this was from Franklin. Didi, born Waldir Pereira, is one of the greatest Brazilian footballers of all time. His story began in an impoverished neighborhood in Rio de Janeiro called Caete, where he was born on October 8, 1928. From a young age, Didi showed his natural talent and passion for the game of football. As a child, Didi spent countless hours kicking a ball around the cramped streets and alleyways of Caete. Despite growing up in a disadvantaged area, football provided an escape and a means of self-expression for the young prodigy. Didi's father, Augusto, was a manual laborer who performed various odd jobs to support the family. He is recognized by his son's exceptional talent for football from a very early age and did his best to encourage and nurture Didi's passion for the game. Despite the family's limited means, Augusto would often buy his son used or discarded footballs so he could practice endlessly in the crammed alleyways and dirt pitches of Cate. Didi's mother, Francesca, was a homemaker who devoted herself to caring for her family. She played a vital role in Didi's upbringing, providing a loving and supporting environment that allowed him to focus on honing his football skills. Though the family faced financial hardships, Francisco ensured that Didi and his siblings were well fed, clothed, and given basic necessities they needed to grow and thrive. Her unwavering support was crucial for Didi's early development and eventual rise to football stardom. Didi's siblings, although not as renowned as the football prodigy himself, also contributed to his early growth. His brother, although not as skilled and provided friendly competition and camaraderie as the two siblings, would spend many times together. Didi's sister, meanwhile, assisted her mother with household responsibilities, further providing the family dynamic with enabling Didi to pursue his football dreams. His skills on the ball quickly caught the attention of local youth teams, and by his early teens, Didi had already joined the youth academy of Fluminense, one of Rio's top clubs. After honing his skills in Fluminense, Didi would find his talents soon caught by the attention of other clubs in Rio de Janeiro. In 1948, at the age of 20, he joined Madeira Esportes Club, which is a much smaller club based in the neighborhood of Madeira. At Madeira, Didi quickly established himself as a centerpiece of the team's midfield. His exceptional vision and passing range and the ability to control the ball and tempo of the game made him an indispensable player for the club, as his role was being a central midfielder. Didi's performances helped Madeira punch above their weight and even played a key role in the team winning the Campeonato Carioca, which is a state championship, in 1949. After a year of joining the club, Didi's time at Madeira was crucial for his development as a player. After 2 seasons with the club, Fluminense was offering him to join their club, which is a much larger club than what Didi has been playing for. With a reputation of being one of South America's largest clubs, Didi could not reject the offer of such a big and historic club. So Didi would find himself establishing himself as part of the Fluminense team's midfield. His sublime technical ability and vision and the capacity to dictate the tempo of the game made him an indispensable figure for the club. From Didi's transition from Madeira to Fluminense helped build him into one of Brazil's most successful midfielder. The club he helped the club to their one of their first Campeonato Carcara, which is the championship of Rio de Janeiro, as they won it for the first time in 1951. This was one of many trophies Didi would win across the decade for Fluminense. His performances on the pitch would soon caught the national attention of the Brazilian national team selectors, who he made an international debut in 1952 at the age of 24. And over the next few years, he cemented himself as a key figure for the Seleção, featuring in their successful 1958 and 1962 World Cup campaigns. Despite his growing fame and success with the national team, Didi remained loyal to Fluminense throughout the 1950s. He continued to be their orchestra-in-chief, pulling the strings in the midfield and leading a club to a series of championship victories. Fluminense supporters adored Didi for his skills, commitment, and the joy he brought when he was playing the game. Didi's tenure in Fluminense was not without its challenges. However, in 1959, he was involved in a high-profile spat with the club administration over his contract. This led to a brief transfer saga similar to the one that we see with Kylian Mbappe today, and other Brazilian clubs were dying to get his signature. Ultimately, Didi and Fluminense went to their reconciled differences, and he remained with the club until 1960, where after that he would move to Real Madrid. Kind of similar to what we see today. Real Madrid, Didi's sublime technical abilities and technical sense made him quickly adapt to the European game. He slotted seamlessly into a star-studded Real Madrid lineup, becoming a key cog to the machine's midfield. Didi's passing range of vision and ability to control the tempo of the game made him an invaluable asset for the Spanish Giants. After spending the bulk of his illustrious career with Fluminense and Real Madrid, Didi joined crosstown rivals of Botafogo in 1960 at the age of 32. This move marked a new chapter for the celebrated midfielder as he sought a new challenge over a decade of success with his boyhood club. He would later go on to play for clubs like Sporting Cristal, then back to Botafogo, then to the Mexican club of Veracruz, where he would give out good performances. After that, in 1969, he would retire to become a coach, coaching the Peruvian national team in the 1970 World Cup. After that, he had some stints in other clubs like River Plate, Fenerbahce, Fluminense, Cruzeiro, Ahly, Botafogo, then Cruzeiro again, Al-Shabaab, Fortaleza, Sao Paulo, Alianza Lima, and finally Bangu in 1990. He would live out the rest of his life in relative privacy until he passed away on May 12, 2001, being a legend of the Brazilian national team and for Fluminense, and his legacy should never be forgotten.